All right, where's our clipboard at here, Joshy? There's our clipboard. Oh boy. All right, what do we got on this here clipboard? Where are we at on Mr. Camaro? Okay, we still got to do mass airflow sensor and wiring and intake tube. So I have the correct LS7 mass airflow sensor now, and I finally got the wiring plug that actually plugs into the mass airflow sensor, and the mass airflow sensor fits in the hole. And then there's our wiring conversion. So I've got to D-pin this plug and then re-pin it with this plug, and then put this in there. And then this will get trimmed down a little bit. We'll put one of these on there like that. And then this sucker right here is going to get glued and cut. Boom, right there. Okay, so that's what we got to do there. That's item one. We got a thermostat back here we need to throw in. That's easy. Thermostat. Okay. We need to finish the vapor purge. So I've got it over here with the bracket, and we've got our lines all ready to go. And this is all happy, and it's going to live right in here. So this side plugs into one side, and this side plugs into the other. And then we'll put our little bracket on, and we're good to go. Valve cover still got to come off so we can prime it with oil, and we're waiting for fittings that should be here Friday. So that's going to be one of the last things. Belts, those are ready to go on. I've got those chilling on the table over here. Belts, those are ready to go on. I'm ready to put the headlights back in, and then I got a couple of ground straps up here that I need to run some groundies to, and then that'll be done up there. I need to wire this temp sender. So this is the temp sender for the oil cooling fan. I need to run a signal wire in from the cab to this relay, and then the relay is going to trigger all this stuff on. So I just got one more wire to run out of the cab. I need to put a couple of bolts in here. It's already drilled. I just got it zip tie mounted. I got two bolts to throw in the very back of the oil pan, and I've got those taped up here to remind me. As soon as the car goes up again, we'll throw those last two bolts in. We got a couple of vacuum lines here. I got to get a vacuum line adapter to go from here, and then this one's already there. So one more little adapter there. Power steering is wired, and there's the breaker for it down there. And then we just need to wire in our signal wire, which is going to be trigger wire from the relay over there. Let's see here. Oh, scratch that one off, Joshy. We got the hose clamp on the power steering line. So, yeah, power steering lines are all done in here. Go grab us our light, Josh. Power steering lines are all done. AN lines are fabricated and ran down all happy through there and through there, and when we get a light we'll show you more. So that's that, and let's see here. We got to throw plugs and wires in, but I don't want to put the plugs in until we spin this thing over and start pressurizing the oil system. So we'll spin the motor and pressurize the oil system at the same time, and we don't want the compression on the motor, so we'll leave the plugs off. Let's see here. Oh, there's some light on things. There's the breaker, there's our trigger wire, the rest of our power wires are all taken care of, so that's good and happy. What else do we got here? Rear brake lines. I've got those in the car. They do some weird, funky, like M12 1.0 with a 3/16 line and a bunch of weird stuff on there. We've got the undercoating all taken care of for the wide body. We've got the lines for ABS sensors. Those are all ran. Pumpkins cleaned up. Ready for the new cover. Rock on, bitchin', kick ass. Cool. All right. Let's see here. We got to order the diff cover. I was working on installing the steering wheel and fixing the steering column. Nobody likes to fix these. Roger, you're probably laughing at me because I did this on your Dodge. We had to pull the pivot pins is what this is called. So usually on these GM tilt columns, there's 4 bolts that go in underneath the pivot, and those get loose. So you got to pull the pivot joint out and then get to the bolts underneath it. Well, this one, the bolts were tight. The pivot joint right here had wallowed out the steering column. So I had to take the pivot joints out and modify the pivot joints and then get it all put back together. That'll be taken care of, and then I can kind of build myself back out and get the new steering wheel and the hub put on. And being as I'm got the lower cover off and the steering column hanging, that'll be a good opportunity to run my trigger wire up through the firewall and finish off wiring. Yeah, we'll fix that later. Let's see, what else do we got going on here? We need to, oh, we already took care of that. We needed to sledge the rear wells one more time. That's done. Lock in the torque arm, put the shifter and the console together, finish the front wide body, install the fenders, install the splitter, headlights, tail lights, throw the bumper on, put the marker lights in. Interior is back together. Yeah, that's done too. Hey, you can't even tell there's a battery back here. So the battery's under there with the battery tray. It runs out this way. Let's see, from the battery, 250 amp breaker into the switch, out of the switch, back across and around to a 200 amp breaker, and then up to the front and connects power steering and all that good stuff. So interior's back together, seat belts are good, seats are in, and I'm just working on throwing the shifter and the bezel and the steering wheel on. That's all good to go. We popped the calipers off today, and calipers are ready to be reinstalled. The wheels are off, final shim's done, control arms are torqued, rear end's 100% other than twisting screws for the coilovers, and that's going to depend on how you want it to drive. So that's essentially all I got left on my list. I'm going to need a bass tune file before I can start this, because it's, gnarly, and I'm not a tuner, so I need a bass tune file. It's going to be ready to go to the suspension shop, the interior shop, the tuning shop, then it'll come back to my shop for body and paint. Anyway, I'll show you some of the goods of what I did here, maybe tomorrow or end of the week, something like that. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown because it's been a minute and I'm pretty much buttoning this thing up. So there'll be lots of stuff to look at, and I'll get you guys some pictures and videos as soon as I can. Things have been wild and crazy. I know you guys are wondering, we are signed for the new shop. We have a space to go. December 1, we'll be able to start moving some cars over there. Here maybe this weekend after a turkey day or something like that, I'll give you guys a kind of a brief walk around in the new shop and release the new address and do all that stuff for you guys. I know you guys are looking forward to that. So anyway, had my kid with me today. He's been working hard, me too, and we're ready to go home and get some dinner. Appreciate you guys, as always. Much love, and take care. See you on the next one, y'all.